Okay, I think we're live. Okay, I think we're live. Okay, we should be live. So I started this one a few minutes early. I was expecting problems, and I actually had a slight problem. So, but I think we got it going now. We'll wait for some people to come in to chat and see if it's actually working. Get everything switched around. We'll give this a try. See what happens. Where am I at here? All right, Adrian. Well, I guess we're live then. If you're here, we're live. So we're good to go. For everybody else and the people watching the replay, we're doing the OBS thing today. Hope like hell it works. So, now, Adrian, we were discussing the delay or the latency yesterday, and come to find out, I found a video on it, and comes to find out there's a setting somewhere in YouTube, I think. I'm not 100% sure. And anyhow, you can select the amount of latency that you want for some reason, and it can go up to 20 seconds, or it can go down to almost nothing. But it's kind of dependent upon your broadcast quality. If you do 1080p, you can select all three. But if you do 2K, 4K, or anything higher than 1080p, then you limit yourself to being able to select certain ones. And so basically the higher output you do, the longer the latency is going to be. Hello, Andrew. Glad you can make it, buddy. But like I say, he was another one of them damn supposedly instructors, and he flew through that shit so fast he didn't even really clarify what damn screen he was on. So I did discover there's one little switch I need to throw because one of the reasons I started earlier today was because I wanted to test this, because, you know, you can supposedly, since I already had a deal selected or a thing set aside, you know, for the time slot and all on YouTube, well, OBS saw it and it wanted it, you know, it let me select it, and then I could supposedly instantly start streaming to that deal. And it wouldn't let me do it because there's a little switch that I got to find, and I got to switch. And I saw that on the video too. I have no idea where the hell it's at because it didn't explain it very well. But we'll hunt it down and eventually find it. We'll hunt it down and try to find it, because it shouldn't, the little thumbnail that it auto generates for my channel deal, Your Vaping Dollar, you know, that it's auto generating that. I'm not doing that. That's just what it auto generates when I tell OBS to start streaming, because it is linked to my Google, and that's the one that's selected on my Google at the moment. So, you know, that all works flawlessly. But yeah, Adrian, I've seen that. You get to select that when you I mean, you get to pick that or choose it or not choose it when you're setting up your live thing. And I think you could probably go back in and change it if you wanted to midstream. I don't have a clue how. Luckily, you know, this is this is one of the benefits. Because there are benefits to everything. This is one of the benefits of being a nobody. Nobody knows me. Nobody cares about me. So the spammers and the trolls pretty much leave me alone. Because if you notice, nobody in my chat, of course, there's only a few of y'all, and I'm grateful for you, but, you know, there's nobody in the chat has a wrench or a blue name or whatever, as, you know, to weed out the trolls, because I don't have any. So one of the benefits of being just flying under that radar, you know. Oh, now I did have a nice comment posted on one of my videos from, I assume, somebody in the UK. I wasn't familiar with them. They said they have a real hard time catching the lives, and hey, there's Big Josh. He's flying in at the last second. Hold on, I got to scoot this over. There we go. Oh, a wrench. Well, I'll tell you what, Josh, if we ever have the need for a person with a wrench, I'll definitely give you a wrench. I'll give all y'all guys a wrench. But so far, I hadn't needed one. And I get very little spam, even on my reviews. You know, there's one little, maybe one or two, every now and then we'll post a comment, and basically it's a porn site advertisement, and I just delete the comment, you know. But I mean, one or two every once in a while, it's no big deal. But anyhow, back to the fellow posted a comment on a nice comment. He couldn't believe I had so few subscribers. Well, if you noticed, I never on any of my videos that I can remember, I may have slipped up once or twice, but I don't think so. I never asked for subscribers. I never asked for likes because I wasn't going to go down that road. Just, it just wasn't me. So, and of course, back in the day, they can say what they want, but back in the day, a lot of reviewers bought subscribers and bought likes, bought watched. I mean, you can buy anything you want, and it's fine. If you're trying to really get up there and start, if your plan was to make money off your YouTube channel, well, call it an investment. But I never did plan to make money off YouTube, so I didn't go down that road. Well, hell, Josh, you're more famous than I am. What can I say, buddy? And the bad part is the ones I've gotten don't even comment in English. See, so, most time it's just a guess that it's foreign. I just delete it right quick. It's no big deal. I don't get enough that it bothers me. Maybe it's the time of day. Maybe that has something to do with it. Or the day of the week, time of the day, or something like that. I don't know. But so far, we ain't had no problem. But if we ever do, hell, I'll give all y'all a wrench if you want one. Of course, you'll have to tell me how to do it. There's nothing I don't know. Yeah, I was lucky. I got just, being regular, I got enough subs to where I could do lives, which I think was 1,000 or more, and I've been over that mark for a long time. But I just never, for the longest period of time, I didn't have a good enough internet connection to do a live. So it really didn't matter. And by the time that rolled around, well, then I had enough that they, let me have everything. And what I have started seeing a trend, it seems like now that they've got a little competition between Twitch and TikTok and all them other ones, YouTube is slacking off a little bit on their requirements for you to do other things than just post videos. Well, Adrian, I'm telling you, it's a learning experience. I'll tell you, it's like most software you get nowadays, and it does way more than most people need, and it just makes it a lot more confusing. This OBS deal, I mean, it's real neat and all, does a lot of stuff, and it almost does too much. So I used to way back in the early 90s, I did a lot of graphics with pictures, modifying them and whatnot. And I had some software I really liked, and it was similar to Photoshop. Everybody knows Photoshop, but it was real similar to Photoshop, and but it was simpler, and I really liked it, and I could run it great. And I finally got my hands on a copy of Photoshop, and it was like Photoshop 4. And it was just so much more. I never did even use it. I went and bought a book. The damn thing was this thick. Swear to God, I still got it because it was expensive on how to work or how to run the damn software. And it was just, more than I wanted to deal with. So I never did even use it. Thank God I didn't pay for it, but You know, I never did even use it. Well, that's good, Josh. Of course, you know, a lot of people are dropping off, disappearing, never to be seen from again. So maybe us small guys are starting to get a little more noticed, you might say. Getting a few more subscribers. Well, tell you what, let's for a better way of putting it, let's start the show. I do have a few little things jotted down. In fact, I want to put this. Now, this ain't a link because I don't know how to do links in chat. I'll learn that one of these days. But this was a website I ran across. And it was interesting. That this is the name of the website. And this guy, he seems to kind of know what he's doing, because I know a little bit about electronics, and he seems to know quite a bit about electronics. But the way he talks, he's kind of like me. People listen to how I talk, they think I'm stupid. It's just something you got to deal with. Anyhow, this guy takes mods, like, I don't know if he did this one. He hadn't done a whole bunch of, like this Argus. What is it? Fupu. Argus. Yeah. Like this Argus mod. He takes them apart. He takes the mod apart and he looks for problems or potential problems. And I thought it was interesting as hell. So you already knew about it, huh, Adrian? Pretty neat. I wished he had more, different mods that he's done. Of course, I understand the deal. It's going to be hard for anybody to send him one for free. Although some companies, I think, do, but unless he goes to the trouble of putting the damn thing back together, then it's useless for him. And some of them, you got to halfway tear them up to figure out how to get them apart. And I thought it was interesting. I really did. Because he took them apart and said, look, we might have a potential problem here and here and here and here. And it was, especially some of the ones that claimed they were, and of course, I'll tell you what he did find on the few videos I watched is it's like 99% of them were going to, if you got juice around the 510, it was going to leak into the mod. Even the ones that, supposedly were waterproofed. So, this damn thing. I hate this. I have to click it twice to let it sit too long. I hate the ones that go to sleep. I really do. But I don't know this guy from Adam. I'm not advertising his channel. I just found it was interesting. Because you don't see many people doing that. I mean, I'll take apart a few things, especially coils. I'll take them apart and see how they're made, see what the hell's going on. But I ain't taking a mod apart unless it was free or unless it has a problem. Then I'll take it apart and try to fix it. Otherwise, I'm leaving it the hell alone. Now, speaking on that, what did I do with it? I may not have it here where I can show you. I don't know what I did with it. Hell, I probably threw it away. And hold on a second. Did I throw it away? Yeah, I think I threw it away. Anyhow, no, he doesn't do every one. He's only got certain ones he's done. But, you know, like I say, I don't know that I can blame him if he's, you know, if he's having to buy them. Now, if they send them to him free, that's one thing. But if he's got to buy them, I don't blame him, you know, for not doing them, not doing every one. Because you ain't never going to make, I don't think, enough money off YouTube to justify purchasing the damn mods. Anyhow, what I was looking for, I finally took apart one of the Anakin Z coils. Just see how it was put together and see what was inside of it. You know, thinking along the line, okay, we'll see if we can rebuild this. Yeah, no. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I'm saying it's a hell of a lot harder than the cost. It's just, it is like over-engineered to the max. It's, and it's just a total, it'll be a total pain in the ass to try to rebuild one of those. So we're just throwing them away. Clean them as many times as we can, throw them away. I ain't even going to go there. Well, Josh, actually, I did that for 2 years out here. Hold on a second. And basically, I just did it for the fun. Now, I'll tell you what, let's see. Let's try our switch. Let's see if I can switch to my other camera. Okay, I think it worked. Yeah, this is I can get it to focus. Now there's water in here, so that's why you see that little bubble rolling around. But yeah, this is 2 years worth of prospecting. Out here. But that's what I found. I have no idea what it weighs. I've never weighed it. It's not much. You mean you can tell it's not much. Turn that back up. Now, your deal actually will be, if you've got some places to go, that's where you want to really research before you buy anything. But your prospecting should actually be a little easier than what mine was, because you should have some running streams and creeks and whatnot to prospect in. And it's a whole lot easier when you actually have running water there. Then it makes it a lot easier, more convenient. You don't have to haul as much equipment, and it's a little easier if you're going to hunt that way, you know. It was a lot of fun. It really was. And just make sure you got a place to go that's legal and all that kind of stuff before you buy a lot of stuff. And let me tell you about the prospecting deal. The equipment is just like vaping. Okay, there's a whole bunch of it out there, whole bunch of different design stuff, different methods and whatnot, this, that, and other. And some of it works, some of it don't. The companies making it, they're just like the vaping companies. They want your money, and so you just got to be careful when you buy your equipment. Now, I was lucky because we had a prospecting club here in town that I went and joined, and me and a friend, they would have like a club meet once a month because they had their own gold claims, and if you join the club, then you got permission to use their claims, and it wasn't but like $20 a year or something like that, so it wasn't no big deal. And but anyhow, what we did, we went out to one of their meets and just watched and looked at the different kind of equipment, how it worked, which ones worked better than the other ones, and all that before we, bought anything. But your deal is going to be totally different because mine was all dry. I mean, I was using what's called a dry washer, and then I bring the concentrates home. And I had, if you've been researching it, a Blue Bowl, which I do recommend. You've got to learn how to work it, but they work really well. But I had, and I forget what the other thing was. What the hell was the other thing? Oh, hell. I forget the name of it. It's a plastic box, and it's a water-fed deal, but you had to have water. And it ran down, down, down like that. It was a cube. That might have been the name of it. But anyhow, it didn't really have riffles, but it had carpet. That was what it used, was like outdoor carpet. But it was, it was only about maybe a 1.5 foot square, and you could just keep stacking the little things on depending on how much you wanted it to run down through before it ran out. And that worked really well, but you had to have water, so that was the reason I would bring my concentrates home from what I got on the dry washer, and then just run those in the garage. And then I would take what I got out of that and run it in my Blue Bowl to get everything. And that was the way I did it. But we did it for about 2 years, and it got to where where the gold is out here is up around the Grand Canyon. And now right over here, right down the road from my house, there's a nice little mountain range, and there's a gold mine actually, right there on the road. But it's gold ore. It's not actually flakes and chunks and what like this. It's actually an ore, and they have to process the ore. So it's, for a weekend prospector, it's useless, and because they process tons of ore to get a little bit of gold. But where the gold is actually, in flakes and chunks, that's up kind of close to the Grand Canyon. And it's about maybe, I don't know, 60 miles or so from where I live. And it got to where when gas went through the roof, it just got to where it was too expensive, you might say. So we kind of quit. Because we never found, regardless of how cheap the gas was, we never found enough to pay for the damn gas. But, there was always the chance of finding a whole bunch. But it just never, we didn't. But it is a lot of fun. And if I remember right, I think you have some kids. If they enjoy it, it's a nice little family thing. Yeah, it can be a nice little family outing type situation. So if you can get, of course, most kids, hell, if you give them some running water, they'll bell off in it. At least that's how I was. Now, I don't know that I'd recommend that you buy a metal detector. I have one. I've very seldom used it at all. I could have done, I didn't find any of this with a metal detector, so I didn't, I don't know if maybe down the road, because those can run up, the good ones run pretty high, but I wouldn't recommend starting off with one of those. Of course, you can probably detect up there in that area if you can find the places. You can probably detect for relics and whatnot. Civil War stuff and old relics and whatnot. Out here in the middle of the desert. Hell, there ain't a whole lot of that because there wasn't anybody out here. The best I ever did with the metal detector was in a little state park by a lake there in Texas. And man, I was digging up stuff left and right, coins and jewelry. And of course, it was all newer stuff. But man, I was digging up stuff left and right till the damn park ranger come and run me off. But that's part of the deal. Now, let's see. Oop. All right, now let's get back to vaping a little bit here. Have y'all seen the new Boro tank thingy from Vandy Vape? It's called the Kylan M Mesh RBA Boro tank thing. I saw the Tony B's video on it. It looked a little interesting. I don't know enough about mesh because I've never used it besides these damn throwaway coils to know if their design looked feasible or not. But it looked interesting to me. And of course, he didn't give a price. And I hadn't seen the price anywhere yet. But it did look interesting. I wanted to see if y'all had any opinion on it. I'll tell you what, I've totally went in a different direction on the my vapes that I got here in the computer room. I got all the big tanks washed up in pieces over there. I hadn't even put them back together yet. And I have two little Pasitos sitting here and my Anakin Slide. That's what I got here by the computer. And I mixed me up some Nick salts and put in these. And so far, I kind of like it. Well, basically, it's just well, a lot of people believe that, and I've never tried one, so I don't even have an RTA that uses mesh. So, I mean, I'm totally in the dark about that. I've heard people say they love it. Heard people say they hate it. But I was curious, and like I said, I don't know the price range. If it's $20, maybe even between 20 and 30, I might give it a try. But if it's a lot higher than that, nah, I'll pass. Because I can get a tank, a real RTA that uses mesh. If I'm curious about mesh, for about that price. $38, 38 lira, or 38 pounds, I guess that would be. That's a little high. I don't know what the conversion rate is. Right now, I think it's pretty even. So I guess on your big tanks, you just knock the Nick salt level down real low, just like you would normal nicotine. Josh? This here, I got from, I think bought it a long time ago when I was just curious about it. I think I got it from Nick River. And at that time, they had two different versions. They had one they called Hit, which supposedly gave you the same throat hit you were used to getting from normal nicotine. Then they had one called Smooth, which was supposed to not give you the throat hit. I bought both. And I really couldn't see a difference, to be honest with you. If I'd have been reviewing it, I would have had to say that I couldn't see a difference. But I'm not a real good a judge on throat hit because I've vaped regular, 24 Nick for so long that, it's got to be, pretty severe before I get a decent throat hit on anything nowadays. Because this, of course, I mixed it at 25. Don't ask me why. I was thinking about 30, and I said, no, if I do 30, I might get over-nicked, if I'm sitting here just constantly vaping it while I'm streaming or something. So I mixed it at 25, and it's supposedly the hit version. It's supposed to give you a throat hit, and I'm not feeling any throat hit whatsoever. So, I'm not a good one to judge throat hit. I'm really not. Well, I definitely ain't paying no $45 for it if that's what it ends up being. Of course, I'm gonna wait and see if it comes out on Fast Tech, because most of their stuff, like their that AI Pulse AIO, it was on Fast Tech. That's where I got it from, and the 0.5 was up on Fastech pretty quick. So we'll see what it is on Fastech. I might get one or not. I don't know. Just to see. Of course, it's pretty much, I mean, theoretically, I guess you could put a big old round coil in it. How good it would work, I don't know, but theoretically you could. It might try to want to melt the little plastic thing that's supposed to hold your cotton up against the mesh. I guess you might could take that out if it didn't leave a hole. But I never had tried it. So I was just curious about I'm still curious about mesh. And if, if it's not too expensive, I'll give it a try. We'll see what happens. I got to say, I'm really disappointed lately with new products from Fastech. My God, they ain't got nothing. I mean, it's all, lately it's just replaceable glass and drip tips and, a few little things, a few things, but nothing I was interested in. I noticed they had that new little thing from, I think it was iJoy or whatever, little pod mod, I guess you'd call it. But yeah, nothing that I've been in that caught my eye anyhow. Now, is that a mesh tank, Josh? The profile? I'm sorry, I can't keep all that stuff memorized. Usually if I bought something, I'll remember it, but I don't even try to keep up with all that stuff. Yeah, I think so too, Andrew. They to me they went downhill, and I'm always curious. I'm kind of curious about exactly how they work. Like if you're over in China and you want to sell something, can you just sell on Fastech your products on Fastech like we do here on Amazon? I wonder if that's how it works, or if Fastech actually has to buy the stuff and then resell it. I just wonder how that works. Because I know some of those sites, I forget the name of one, but one of them was pretty much a carbon copy of Amazon. And the old boy got in trouble because he kind of gave the middle finger to the Chinese government. He vanished for a while. And I think he came back. I'm not 100% sure. But I know that thing was, I forget the name of it, but it was supposedly like Amazon where normal people could sell on it. Now I'm just wondering if Fastech is similar to Amazon, or if it's just if they buy all the stuff and then resell it themselves. Hard to find out that kind of stuff, and be able to trust what you do find out. But yeah, they've really gone downhill. I expected them to, after their little last holiday, to come out with, have some stuff, but yeah, I do too, Josh. but I guess eBay went the route of Amazon, which doesn't surprise me at all. But yeah, I do. And the bad part is, I think over in the UK they can buy vape gear on Amazon. Am I right on that, y'all, or am I off base on that? And lately I've really I've tried to start keeping up with this shit again. And, I've joined a bunch of Facebook groups, not that kind of sort of thing, and whatnot. And I'm sorry, but the hoops you have to jump through to buy something from one of those Facebook groups is just more than I want to do. I'm sorry, but that's just a little more than I can do. Yes. Yeah, they can. Yes, they can. Yeah, that's it. Now, what part of that is right? You see, that's how these damn left-wing idiots work. Okay, no, we're not going to let Americans buy it, although we're Americans, but we're not going to let Americans use it. No, it's a no-no. But everybody else in the damn world can buy and sell on here. I mean, that just goes to show you right there. I mean, it's their company. They can do what they want to do. But yeah, to me, that's prejudiced. That's the way I look at it. But that's those people for you. It's a left wing bunch. Yes. The only thing we can do now is jump through 20,000 hoops and on Facebook and be all espionage type shit to get to buy or sell stuff. It's a mess, I'll tell you. The only thing we can buy on Amazon is cotton. Of course, you buy that, in wire. We can easily buy cotton and wire. Now, if you really hunt, you might find you some PG or VG, but we can still buy that from the normal places without a problem. So, yeah, PayPal is, they've gone, they have gone deep in bed now with the left wing idiots and the FBI. Even. Of course, Facebook is now with the FBI too, as far as trying to run people down and all this bullshit. And I think PayPal, it was PayPal, put out some kind of thing that, if I had an account, a real both way PayPal account, and actually had some money in there from stuff I had sold, and if I say something on, I don't know, I guess public media or somewhere that they don't like, well, they just take my money and or hold it or take it away from me. And it's like, okay, it has that ring of communism to it in my book. Of course, I'm old, but it's something to that effect. I just thank God that I didn't get in with the PayPal business end of the deal when I started taking credit cards at my thing on Saturdays. Now, I use Square, and Square don't give a shit. They don't even like hold your money. You get your money the next day. Next business day when the next business day rolls around, money's in your account, your bank account, not their account. And they don't give a shit what you sell or buy or whatever. But Well, I think it's even worse now, Josh. Uh, they got it's something to do with if you're right wing and you start posting a lot of shit on Facebook, theoretically, I'm thinking, or social media altogether, if they don't, if they see it, they like hold your account for some reason. How they can do that, I have no idea. But yeah, PayPal's involved in that deal somehow. Well, that's good, Adrian. Maybe I got a better internet connection today because that varies out here a lot. Is how good my internet connection is. Now, I don't have a clue what. I better write this down. I might need that number because my little OBS thing is giving me a lot of information down here at the bottom. I need to write this down, I think. 30, and we'll call it 3,200. And it says my dropped frames is 0.1%. So I'm thinking that's probably pretty good. It'll be a little better once I really, I mean, it may get better when I really learn how to fine tune this software. But I tried to get a business thing. I'm glad I didn't now, really am. But I tried to get a business deal from PayPal to start with to take credit cards up at the market, the flea market I sell at. And I had been a normal PayPal person for years and years and years, buying stuff, just buying, using PayPal to buy stuff. So I said, well, I've been with them for, hell, 8, 9 years. Won't be no problem just to get to where I can start taking money also. Oh, shit. They treated me like I was a goddamn drug dealer standing on the corner. Swear to God they did. It's the damnedest thing I ever saw. Piss on y'all. So I went with Square. Did it all online. Within 10 minutes, I could take credit cards. And it's been great. And PayPal has just went downhill from then. When they quit letting us buy vape gear, supposedly, it's been downhill since then. The bad part is there's more people that don't vape than do vape. So, we just don't have a big enough footprint. I mean, they think we do. The advocates think we do, but in reality, we don't. We really don't. Yeah, Adrian, I've had a lot of places that I had a deal with that. It was because of PayPal. The way back before they quit the deal, the vape gear, I was trying to buy something, and it was my problem. My deal. My problem is I have a PO box where I get everything delivered to, and I used to have a mailbox out here at the end of the road, but I quit using it. I just used the deal, but my PO box and my physical address, two different things, and it makes it a little difficult sometimes when I order stuff. But that's just me. And I always liked using PayPal because even when I used PayPal, I used my credit card to pay PayPal. So it gave me basically 2 layers of defense for my information, plus in case something never showed up or was bad or whatever. Okay, I'd call PayPal first and say, hey, I never got this item, or this item's junk, or whatever. And then if PayPal can't get nothing done, then I'd contact my credit card company and say, hey, refuse this thing because of, damage or defect or never showed up or whatever, And so it just gave me 2 layers of protection. That was the only reason I ever started using it to begin with. But there again, I mean, it's one of those left-wing companies, and they just keep, going further left hand, further and further left. Hopefully they'll fall off the cliff here in a little while. We won't have to worry with them. They've gotten a lot more competition now. So, like I say, I use Square instead of using PayPal when I sell something and the people want to pay with a credit card. And I'm willing to even pay a little bit more percentage just to give PayPal the middle finger. The way I look at it. I better write this down too, because I wonder if they'll let me. I don't know if I can really fine tune that or not. Use 30. And see, I'm only doing 30 frames per second. And my CPU usage at the moment is 30%. It's hovering around between 25 and 35%. So I could probably bump my frames per second rate up, or bump up my kilobytes per second. And say get my CPU usage up to, say, 50%, probably be good and safe. And we might could even get better picture than what we got. Of course, my camera is just 1080, and that, I don't see that changing anywhere in the near future. But we can always just fine tune what we got. Well, Josh, I think there's a bunch of them out there now. I don't think we're, there for a long time. We were limited pretty much to PayPal, but I think there's a bunch of them out there now that allow you to do that. I know my wife, when she sold a few things on Facebook, and they have some little thing on Facebook that lets you, that deals with your transaction. And she always had good luck with that. She's only done it a few times, but it's always worked flawlessly and not been any kind of problem. I think even a lot of the big banks, you might check with the bank you are using at the moment. They may have a way now of doing it themselves that's similar to PayPal. For me, luckily, the credit card I use, it's a Citibank one. I don't even know all the details to it. It's MasterCard or Visa. I don't remember. MasterCard, I think. I've had it for, my God, how many years? Since like the 80s? No, not could be the 80s. Early 90s, late 80s maybe. They have always they immediately take my side. Anytime I call them with a problem, it's not, well, can you prove this? No, they don't even go there. They just immediately believe that I'm telling the truth. They take my side. Okay, we'll handle it. And, I couldn't ask for a better, credit card. So I don't really have a lot of fear anymore. Like when I get stuff from Fastech, I just give them a credit card deal, because I know if somebody gets it, hacks it, fraudulent charge, the company, and like I say, they immediately take it off. It's gone. Adios. Yeah, ever damn bite in their dog has got a pay deal these days, Adrian. And there was a guy who came up to bought some stuff from me, here a while back, and at the market, and he wanted to be able to just, swipe his phone, or put his phone next to something and it do the transaction. I said, I ain't got that. I said, I need a physical card I can swipe. And so he coughed up a card at that point, but they got to where now, if you just get your phone close to it and it does the transaction. I hadn't got to that point yet. But yeah, I never had a PayPal account where I put money in that was from a sale. I never had that. I simply paid for stuff with it. And I'm glad now that that's all I did. So I don't have to worry about them. But they're going to force us eventually. Another one of those conspiracy theories. They're eventually going to force us to go all digital, no real money anymore. Oh yeah, you go into any store now, and 99.9% of them, I'll put that away. You go into any store to buy something, I don't care whether it's Walmart or it's your local bodega or your Circle K or whatever the hell, convenience store. And while you're in there, if electricity goes off, you're screwed. There's like 0.0001% of the cashier that could still give change the normal way and figure tax and give change. So, if you had cash, you could just pay her. And if she could get the damn cash register open, she could take your money and give you change. But hell, most of them have no clue how to give change. And if the machine won't tell them how much money to give you back, they're screwed. They're totally screwed. I used to love getting, back when I ate fast food, I used to love jacking with the cashiers. Because let's say my my food was $3 and a nickel. I'd hand the cashier a $5 bill and a nickel. I'm serious. You could watch the hair fly off their head when it went over their head. I mean, it went over their head so fast, it was like me. It took their hair with it. Whoop. And I'd let them sit there for a little while. Now, some of them, believe it or not, were smart enough to just go ahead and, because they're supposed to enter the amount you give them so the machine tells them how to make change. Well, some of them were actually smart enough to put $5.05 in. So then the little thing told them to give me $2, But some of them, it flew over their heads so fast, so bad, it boggled them. And I'd give them a few minutes. I'd give them a few minutes, and then I finally would say, just give me $2. 305, 505, $2. Give me $2. You could see the wheels turning, and then directly the little hamster would fall off the wheel or die from a heart attack. And some of them would just, okay, here, $2. You can tell they couldn't do the math. I mean, it was. I used to get the biggest kick out of that. Am I mean? Yeah, probably. It was just, yeah, it was amazing. It's amazing. And you just did it because you didn't want all that damn change in your damn pocket. I mean, I don't want 95 cents in change rattling around in my damn pocket the rest of the day. Give me some folding money back. Come on. Oh. It looks like good old Grim Green is in some kind of YouTube jail. The channel's still up, but he can't post to it, and I guess they're supposed to be reviewing it. I don't know. Yeah, Josh, they can't do math, and nowadays they don't even know if they're a boy or a girl either. It's bad when you don't know if you're a boy or girl. I'm sorry. Come on. Hell, why be one or the other? Let's be both. Shit. Cover all our bases. And you want them to do math? Yeah, that's right, Andrew. Shit. And now let me go a step further with that. I mean, okay, yeah, they got a calculator app on the phone. Okay, how many of them use that? How many of them actually use the calculator? How many of them hit the Google voice, and ask Google what something is? Hey, Google, what's 10% of 235? How many of them do that? They don't even know how to use the damn calculator app. They just ask Google. Well, Adrian, I don't think they've deleted his channel yet, or they hadn't yesterday. Anyhow, he just couldn't. He couldn't post anything at the moment. But I don't think they deleted his channel yet. But it's a possibility they can. But you know, I feel sorry for him because yeah, he bet the farm on it, and you know, I don't know, you know, why he decided to ignore the red flags that were clearly visible, even way back when, even way back then. You know, I guess he, you know, of course, you know, I mean, you can always gamble on. I guess it was, you know, it was a gamble of whether or not they would be a decent company or not. I guess you can look at it like that because, you know, kind of any business is a gamble. So, you know, I guess he gambled on them being respectable, upright citizens, and well, that didn't turn out to be the case. But yeah, Josh, all I got was a bunch of age warnings. They weren't even strikes. They were just because I didn't, you know, I never restricted any of the stuff. Age restricted it. I got age restriction warnings, but they weren't strikes. They were just, you know, warnings. So I went back and just age restricted everything, and now everything going forward will be age restricted. That was all I got, and I think it's mainly because I was so small. They just didn't. They just kind of glanced, you know, just kind of gave me a sideways glance. Didn't go into digging deep because, you know, when they started hitting all the big guys, I mean, I had videos up that showed URLs, you know, and I've even seen some lately that are from smaller reviewer channels that still just plainly show URLs, UPC codes. If that's the right term for that. You know what I'm talking about, little scan codes, all that shit. I mean, I've even seen some scroll the damn website across the bottom of the screen. But like I say, they're small and, you know, don't have a lot of subscribers or views or any of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, there's a hell of a time delay in that, Josh, because I had the same thing happen to me. It's like, you know, I age restricted everything, every video on my channel, and then, you know, in a week later after that, I got an email saying, you know, that this video got age restricted, but it was already age restricted. So from the time they actually look at your channel till you get that email, it's like a week or two lag there. So yeah, it's all fucked up. It's just it's messed up. Well, see, Adrian, that's on them because like, you know, if they weren't, you know, there's people there is people that would advertise on a vape video, and you know, if they wanted to make the money, they could make the money because all the vaping with Vicks videos got ads all over them, you know. And plus, like Rumble, Rumble don't give a shit. They got people that'll put ads on any video out there. And Rumble don't even really give you a choice. I mean, if your stuff, monetizes, is on YouTube, you get to pick if you want to monetize or not. But like on Rumble, you just upload it, and you don't get to choose it. If it passes their few checks, it's monetized. And I think you got to even put it to. I don't even know if they got a private thing over there or not. But it's a different world over there. And I guess the poor old advertisers, of course, I don't know. That's a different world, The ad world, it's a different world. Because, give me an example, when you're watching YouTube and an ad comes on, sometimes it'll say up in the little top in the corner, it'll say 1 of 2, Well, 5 seconds into the first one, you get the option to skip. Well, it skips both of them. So whoever paid for that second ad got totally fucked. And really, who even paid for the first one got screwed too, because, you skipped it. Yeah, I remember here a while back, Josh, it was I forget what it was. Whose channel was it on? I don't remember. I think it was either Grim or Matt. It might have been Matt. Then it was like the very first, he was in YouTube jail and he got out of YouTube jail and he posted a video. He was able to post again. And when he posted the video, the very first damn thing before the video even played was an ad for something. It was either vaping or alcohol or smoking or something. But it was like, it was like, well, why the hell did y'all throw him in jail if you're gonna put ads of the same shit you threw him in jail for? It did make a bit of sense, but it was just totally obvious and totally hypocritical. So I thought it was hilarious. Yeah. I didn't know an ad blocker. Well, I guess an ad blocker works on your computer, but I don't know if it worked too good on my TV. Now, dang, throat's getting dry. Of course, the whole object, YouTube's whole objective is to get you to buy the YouTube Premium, so you don't pay for ads, or you don't watch the ads. That's their drug dealer approach. So I don't do that either. I don't pay for nothing if I can get away with it. Yeah, the trouble, Josh, is they got so much money they don't even care hardly anymore. It's like, oh, let's, I can envision the meeting. The head guy's sitting there, and the lawyer comes in and says, "Hey, we shouldn't do this because we might get sued." Okay, well, what'll it cost us if we get sued? And the bookkeeping guy speaks up and says, "Oh, it'll it'll cost this much, and then the head guy says, oh well, we'll make more money off of doing it than we will if we get sued and have to pay. So let's do it anyhow. I can see that easily happening. Yeah. Yeah, Josh, that's why I watch very little news. You start watching a lot of especially network news and that shit. Oh man, you get your blood pressure up, and you know it ain't like anything's going to happen or change or anything along that line. So yeah, it's almost if you go offline, your blood pressure will go down. I mean, offline completely. You know, phone, computer, TV. Yeah, I think your blood pressure will probably go down about 40 points. Yeah, I watch very little. I mean, I only watch a little bit of Fox. That's all I watch. Just a little bit of Fox. I don't watch any of the other. Really quit being news. It's all opinion now. It's or it's I don't know, espionage. I guess it might not be the correct word, but you know, it's not news. They're you know manipulating it. Can't remember what. Okay, that's the one with the core. This is the one with the RBA section. Okay, hard to keep them straight. Yeah, it's a mess, and I don't see it getting any better. That's the bad part. Oh, let's see. Was there anything else on my little cheat sheet here? Oh, one other little subject I noticed. All right, Josh, you take it easy, my friend. Appreciate you stopping by. Now that I've started keeping up a little closer with some different Facebook groups, this, that, and other on vaping, I noticed something because it was some of them are the manufacturers. I think it's maybe on Twitter. The manufacturers, you know, Twitter feed or what have you, mostly Asian, you know, either China, Japan, mostly Asian feeds, and I noticed a trend over there, and maybe it's just over there, maybe it's a preference, social preference type thing, but you know, they post handshakes, you know, pictures of their what they're vaping on. And it seems like if it's like Asian, the damn drip tip on them is they got custom drip tips like this long on everything. Of course, they're little bitty, you know, MTL drip tips. They're not, you know, 810s or none of that. And but they're real long. And I found that curious that they were real long. And the only deal, I mean, I've got some real long ones that I bought a long time ago. And the only really difference I can tell is it gives you a cooler vape because it takes a long time to get down the drip tip, which I always use little small drip tips. So, you know, mine's already condensed. It's condensed the vapor pretty good. But the only difference I saw was, of course, it gave you a cooler vape. I really didn't see any difference in the flavor or the density or any of that. But I just found it interesting that it seemed like if it came from, if it was a hand check from like an Asian country, they had these long ass custom, nice looking drip tips. I just found that interesting. And I was wondering if it was a benefit to it or if it was just a style thing. That's the style over there. I was curious. I tried mine, and like I say, the only thing I could tell was cooler. It let the vape cool down a little bit. You know, I know a lot of people out there, including Josh here, that have a totally different reaction to regular Nick or Nick salts. I can't tell the difference. I really can't. I got this on 1 and 2. That's where it sits. I'm gonna leave it alone. I ain't gonna burn that coal. No sense in that. Oh. No, I don't like the real stubby ones. About this one, in fact, this one on the stem is lied. I can deal with it, but I prefer it about a little bit, almost twice as long as that. I really I don't like these little stubby drip tips, and I think they get it in their mind that if they can get your mouth closer to the coil, you'll get more flavor. I think that's their logic in their thinking, but and I'm sure there's something to that, but yeah, I don't like them little stubby ones. Most of my stuff comes, I use old drip tips out of tanks that are probably what you'd call a medium length back in the old days. So they used to all be about the same length, about an inch, maybe 3/4 an inch, something like that. And then for some reason, like I say, they all went to these little stubby ones. I really don't know why, like I say, because the hand checks I see from the other deals, they got these long ass things on there. So I don't know where their research data come from that people liked little stubby drip tips, unless it's just a matter of cost. I mean, hell, I've seen some 810s on some of those big tanks and RDAs that like an eighth of an inch long. It's like you might as well take some of it off and just put your mouth on the damn RDA. Of course, I guess it gets kind of hot. I don't know. I don't use RDAs. Let's see. I can bump that up just a hair. I have found on these Inokin Z coils. Now this is the 0.48 one. I think it's 12 to 16 watts is what it's rated. Well, through trial and error, I found I can bump it up to 20, and the coil still lasts forever and gives you a lot better vape for me. I was doing, this was a new one. I was doing the little break-in thing. Well, I'm sure that helps a little bit, Adrian, on the mix. I know it. I know on a car's engine, it has a lot to do with the stuff when you're mixing the air with the fuel. And there's a whole science to that. But you know, the trouble. You remember here a long time ago, I gave you a web address to some guy that did some airflow videos that were kind of neat. But I think, and I have no scientific data to back this up, but he was had a little nozzle and he was blowing, you know, a smoke or vapor, whatever he was making it with, onto a coil, you know. He was using basically the what's it called? Shit. Used to know. I built one of the damn things. I ought to know. It ought to come to my head. Deal. But anyhow, he was blowing the vapor onto the coil. Okay. Well, or blowing air onto the coil just to watch the airflow. Okay. Well, that's all good and fine. But I think there is a difference if he would have had a machine hooked up somehow and actually put a vacuum and actually sucked the stuff through. I think it'll act differently. Being the air will, I think the air will act differently if it's sucked through rather than being blown through. I really do. I think it would show a difference. A wind tunnel. That's what I'm trying. That was the word I was trying to think of. Wind tunnel. I really think that you would see a difference. I think the air would act differently if it's being sucked through or blown through. Now it'll be real similar, but I do think there'd be some little differences there. But it would be a whole lot harder to build something like that, you know. And then the question becomes, would you actually be able to, you know, see a difference? Because, I mean, you know, a lot of this stuff works. You know, this design works just as well as this design, you know, and they're totally different designs, but both of them work as good as you can tell from the taste and the amount of vapor and this, that, and another, you know. They work just as good, even though they're totally different designs. So, just how much does it really matter in the real world? So, anyhow. Me and a little friend, you know, not a little friend, me and a friend of mine built a little wind tunnel one time, a little small. It was about, I don't know, 3 foot long, and it was about a foot squared. We built it out of plexiglass and had a big fan in front of it, and we were looking at the aerodynamics of our little 8th scale remote controlled gas cars that we run, because they were the Can-Am style bodies. And we were trying to improve the aerodynamics of it, and it was really interesting what we found, because not only, of course, we had a little smoke generator so we could watch, but we also had little bitty postal scales that we had 4 of them, and we put the tires on the car on those scales, so we could measure the amount of downforce on each wheel. And it was amazing what we found, because it was kind of neat, because we would first off, we just used the scales, and we would change something. And every once in a while, when we changed like the height of the wing, or where the wing was on the car and those kind of things, the results we got on the scales were completely opposite of what we expected to get. And when that happened, we would put the smoke to it, and the smoke would show us why we got the results we were getting. It was clearly, you could clearly see why, what was happening. It was kind of interesting. It was a lot of fun. And there was one real thing we learned from it, was the wing placement, front to back wing placement, because you were allowed an extra wing on that on the car, and there was a wing built into the rear of the body, and then you were allowed an extra wing on top of that if you wanted to run one. And the front to back placement of that was super critical. It was actually more critical than how much tilt you put in the wing, because you could put as much, whatever you call it, the tilt, as you wanted. But the front to back placement was the most critical thing on that. And it was really interesting. But like I say, I think that the wind tunnels are good, but if you're dealing, in vaping, we're not blowing the air through, we're sucking it through. And I really think that there's a slight difference in that. I really do. I think there's a slight difference in how the air reacts compared to air that's being blown. It would be interesting to see, but I doubt. I don't know why anybody build one. I wouldn't build one. Well, guys, I think we're going to cut her off for today and declare our first OBS streaming thing a success. And hopefully I can start recording all my other things on OBS. I think I'll get a lot better audio, maybe a even better video. And over time, we'll get this thing dialed in, and hell, we may even get a better picture than we got now. So I really appreciate all y'all stopping in, participating in the chat. And I don't have my YouTube up. I'm watching my OBS. I got the YouTube chat popped out, but I'm not watching YouTube, so I don't know how many people actually came in the room today during the deals. But everybody's welcome. Come in, have a chat. Yeah, we miss Neil. He's busy. It's a weird time of the day over here in the States to do a live, but it works better for me at this time of the day. But I'm retired, so there you go. But thank y'all for coming in, and like I say, if you think of a topic you want to go over, put it in a comment. Put it in the video comments. And we'll go over it. It's no big deal. Sometimes, some weeks, there's not a lot of stuff going on these days, unless you get into, and I kind of try to keep it geared toward vaping. So there's really very little, hardly anymore, So So I think we're going to end it there. And I appreciate everybody coming in. And next week we should be back. Same time, same bat channel.